Okay. Hi, this is Serpent Stare. This is Cult of the Lamb, and I have a special guest with me today.
Hi. I'm old.
Yeah, that's all. Joining me for the first time, and
Yeah.
not I think watching Cult of the Lamb for the first time, but watching me play Cult of the Lamb for the first time.
Yeah, I watched my roommate play it a bit, but, well, it was an earlier setup anyway, and nowhere near this industrial.
Yeah, I believe I've already shown you some reason to believe that we have reached, as I keep saying it, late stage capitalism.
Yep.
And Brewer is asking me to accept some sick members into the cult, which I don't have any problem with because I have an easy way to cure them anyway. So that's just a couple of additional workers, and there's no reason to turn that down. We've got plenty of food, including the ability
Bring
to
me your
make...
sick, we will make them workers.
What?
Bring me your sick, we will make them workers.
Absolutely. We've got plenty of food, and we can even make lavish meals, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to make some simple, solid meals, which are good but not lavish food, and then we can recruit some new people. This fellow is currently called Yarmer.
Yep, that won't last.
That one, no. We rename everybody. And we give this one a name starting with BT. Their traits are cynical, they have a strong constitution, and they're coprophiliac. So if they get ill, which they actually are right now, they add faith to my cult.
So do you actually get that right away, or?
I think I do.
Okay.
So I was considering calling our BT character the Torrent.
Yeah, that seems to work.
Okay. We can randomize their appearance, we can change them as much as we like. You can take a look at some of the forms we have access to. A deer, a pig, a unicorn, a starfish, a pangolin, a rat, tanuki. It randomly selected donkey for them. They started out as a hedgehog.
Okay.
These forms are mini-boss forms, and after we defeat that mini-boss, we recruit them and unlock their form, which we can apply to other things as well.
Right.
So we could make them a Vefas, I think that is, or a bear, or like the spider thing, or an elephant.
I assume this is entirely cosmetic, though.
This is entirely cosmetic. It doesn't actually do anything.
Okay.
I was thinking that Batorrent might make sense as a fish.
Yep, that is entirely fair. For those out of the loop, I go by fish on most things online.
But even if you weren't here, fish, I would probably have made Batorrent a fish because Batorrent.
Oh, yep.
What color should Batorrent be? We actually have two different choices additionally to make here. After making them a fish, we can make them a different style of fish, with like round fins, or a tall fish with face paint.
Yeah, sort of a swordfish type deal.
Or this one is kind of a swordfish type deal. I guess a little bit.
Or maybe a speech bubble.
This one looks like a speech bubble, yeah. So for Batorrent, what do you think suits?
Swordfish, absolutely.
Okay. What color do we want to go with?
He's on the high seas, after all.
We can go with a more subtle blue or a brighter one.
Let's go brighter.
Okay, bright blue. And Batorrent is cynical, but that's okay. And Batorrent is sick, but we're going to be able to heal them. That sounds like some kind of social commentary. Yep. we got that 10 faith.
Okay.
And
Question
this is
answered.
Fitty. Who gets to be a BU, and they have all negative traits. They're sickly, they're slothful, and they're faithless.
Alright, great guy.
Yeah, I was thinking I might call the BU one Butter, and I like his color scheme for that, as it is already.
Yeah, that works.
Butter the lazy Tanuki. Shall we just go with that, or customize it?
Yeah, honestly, that works quite well.
Alright. So, welcome to the cult, Butter. One of your downsides is that you will actually take more time to heal naturally, so let's not even have you heal naturally. We have the right kinds of flowers to make this medicine.
Okay, so we're going with medicine. I assumed we were going with unnatural healing.
Well, I presume medicine because it requires these specific flowers. Get out of the way so I can clean this shit.
That sounds like medicine to me.
Well, Butter is doing a good job, and immediately, like, the first action upon joining the cult is to pick up a broom and to clean up the crap. I appreciate that, Butter, thank you. So, even if they are slower to work, having the extra workers around to do this stuff is very helpful. And just line up a bunch of gold bars to be forged out of our gold coins. And, yeah, more sanctified planks out of wood too, because we have reached the late game enough that we're just swimming in resources. It being the start of
So
a
what's
new
the
day.
goal here then, if we have one?
Pardon?
What's the goal here then?
The goal of the game, if we believe, the one who waits, our patron who has given us this power, is to defeat the 4 bishops who are his enemies, who chained him in a section of the afterlife where he remains trapped. For each one that we defeat in battle, one of the chains will break, and then the one who waits will be free once we can get all 4 of them. And this is what we were forced into his servitude to do. That doesn't necessarily mean that we need to feel like, you know, being fully gung-ho about our servitude is the best idea. And we have been getting some pretty ominous words about it from other characters. Although, on the other hand, those other characters are the enemies that he wants us to kill, so it makes sense that they would, you know, really want to oppose that in any way that they possibly could, whether that's deception or otherwise. We were preserved from death by the one who waits in order to head this cult and do his bidding. So we kind of owe him.
Yeah, we're doing good work.
It has become reasonably clear that the one who waits is the personification of death.
Okay.
So there is that to potentially feel, you know, maybe a little bit cautious about.
But, like, that's always something that's very setting dependent. Like, death gods can be very, very different from saying setting.
Yeah, well, this one is sitting chained in the underworld, having been betrayed by his 4 brothers and sisters. And, I would say, I suppose, that paints him in a rather ambiguous light.
Yeah.
We have been getting some hints that his brother Shamara, who represents war, taught him to be inventive and creative and to change, which is dangerous and caused some of this trouble because it is not within the nature of Death himself to change. And this caused him to be overambitious and try to overthrow his 4 brothers, so they chained him up in a segment of the Afterworld. Or something like that. Conduct a sermon for my followers. I try to bless them every day if I am at the base, and I don't have any other truly pressing affairs. These 3 are elderly, which means that they won't do any work for us anymore, and it's only going to be another few days before they die. If this were a normal run, we would be using commandment stones to declare doctrines, but we're not doing that. If this was a normal run, we would also have a bunch more rituals. We have a ritual we can use to sacrifice a follower, but I'm not going to because that gets rid of the body, and I'm trying to collect them in my alphabetized graveyard. And we do have a ritual to light a bonfire and dance around it, which can just increase our people's faith by giving them like a locus of common good feeling. I get gold from the sermons because they drop them in the offering plate, which is one of the ways in which gold becomes so much less of a problem in the late game. Welcome, Stell. I presume that's Stell.
It's Stell. Hello.
Hello. I was just letting Eoin know about the essential basics of what's going on here. Now, here's another look at our current list of alive followers with their levels as well. We have Astarte, Ogold, Avernum, Awu, Axtel, Azriel, Baba, Babaril, Bear, Bitta, Bitch, Blue, Boris, Brewer, Basalt, Batorrent, and Butter, and Applejack, Attica, and Ava, who are Elkid. By hearing a confession from one of them, I will contribute substantially to leveling them up by filling up this bar further. And it gets like most of the bar full, so like if I bring Bitch in for confession, for instance, they'll level the rest of the way up. But not quite if I were to bring Batorrent and Butter in. Or like one of them, but I haven't blessed them yet either. Would you like to express any preference as to who I bring in for confession?
Let's go with a Vernum.
A Vernum. Alright.
Is a Vernum too high level already?
It would waste some of the potential, but
Okay.
I absolutely can bring them in. It's not like I have to optimize this.
That's fair.
They're questioning the power of the red crown. They'd rather they think the blue crown might be stronger. They're wrong, but that's what the confession booth is here for. Gives them a safe place to be wrong without like being considered to actually be dissenting against my rule. Oh. Followers will occasionally get into chats like this. Like Batorrent is currently chatting with who's this? Bitta. I want to take a moment to bless Batorrent. That's Butter. Where's Butter? Butter is over here participating in farming.
Like, we were told Butter would be lazy, but Butter has been doing something every time we happen in on him.
Yeah. Lazy just means that they work more slowly. It doesn't mean they don't work. So, Butter presumably can't move as fast as the others do, but that doesn't mean they can't find something to do. It just means they'll get it done more slowly. And now, I am running into a problem where I'm running out of beds, so I need to build some more beds for our new recruits. Like that. And I could fit another one there between the outhouse and the sanitation station, if I wanted to. Or I could put something else there. Something else that I haven't been doing yet is building decorations. But I absolutely could if we want to find a 2x2 decoration to put there. What do you think?
Nice torch would be good.
Okay, we have... This is a large torch, which is still small enough that it wouldn't take up the whole space.
Right.
Let's see what other torches we got. Skull candle is reasonably small, I think. We've got a stone candle, we've got a candle barrel, in terms of things that would be torches. And we've got a spider torch, which is covered in spider silk. And there's a giant skull, which is giant, and will not fit in that space. But we could grab one of these braziers and put them somewhere around here. Brazier?
Cool.
Something. Like we could put one here and here if we want to, and not even take up that space. Could fit one there too. Any thoughts on this?
No, honestly.
This is really weird. Like, you know what? This game has been bizarrely glitchy at times. The outhouse takes up 4 slots. For some reason, the slot is currently showing as available to build in.
Oh, that's very odd.
I want to see what happens if I put a torch there. Can we in fact build something on top of another building? Is it that glitched? And our lovely followers get to work. The beds don't take much effort to build. Interesting. Alright, I am fairly confident that is not supposed to work that way, but the game is glitchy, so...
Yep, so we take those?
So we have a torch built into the side of an outhouse. Fantastic. Because we all want that, right?
Yeah,
Here's our offering plates, where someone gives us 2 sanctified boards and some gold ore. Just because they can.
Fire hazards aren't real and can't hurt you.
What? Oh, fire hazard! Thank you. Yeah, we could upgrade the summoning circle. We have enough sanctified resources to do that now. So let's do that. And I think I already have... No, I don't. I have the 2nd tier of the missionary, but not the 3rd one. The missionary is over here, and I can't upgrade it because I need crystal shards in order to do that. Okay. But I could make another... oh no, wait, I could improve the healing bay to make healing my followers take even less resources. Like I say, late game, all of the investments.
Yeah.
I
The
don't
problem
know...
is more finding things to spend it on.
Yep. It honestly does become like that. At this point, I don't know what happened here. The lumberyards and stone mines usually cost 30 coins and 15 of their base resources. At some point, or 15 of their base resources, I thought. At some point, apparently, I got a discount, and I don't know why.
Rather sizable discount, too.
Yeah, the stone mine might have started at 10, I'm not sure. And I can fit another mine there, so why not do that? And I collect devotion here, that's what this resource is. And the devotion allows me to unlock things in this tech tree, which is almost entirely filled out. So I have gotten almost all the divine inspiration that I'm going to need to figure any of this shit out. The only other things to invest in that I can reach right now are cheaper rituals during a run when I'm barely using rituals, and the Shrine Flame bundle, which allows devotion to be accumulated more quickly. Devotion being this spiritual essence that I just sucked out of this statue, which builds up pretty quickly already. Care to choose one for me?
Is anything later in the tree any useful, or?
Ritual cooldowns, Tabernacles, Shrine Flame 2, and the Tabernacle 3. The Tabernacles are additional places that my followers can store extra devotion for unlocking things on this tech tree.
I see. So, the tech tree, largely irrelevant now. Let's go with more devotion.
Okay.
Speed this along.
Alright. Light the cleansing fire and harvest more devotion. It does have a neat graphical effect, however, and I'll show you that. When I light this, the characters who pray, if we see them with their eyes open, will actually show that little fire effect in their eyes.
Oh, cool.
Alright. Bitta was... You know what? I think Bitta just got frustrated that I hadn't actually listened to them and accepted their quest, and so they decided, fuck you, I'm not gonna give you a quest! quest. You weren't listening? Fine. No quest for you. Because I just saw them perform an aggravated animation, and then the quest bubble disappeared. I didn't know that could happen. Alright, so we have fertilizer from our followers, and this is our lovely little farm area. We have these scarecrows to keep the crows from eating our seeds, and these, this little pinwheely thing causes the crops in its influence to grow faster. Which is why this fast forward icon is on those. We can use this to turn grass into get more fertilizer, not that we need to, we've got plenty. And this is a lumber camp which is collapsed. So I'm going to upgrade it. You can upgrade the collapsed lumber camps. Oh wait, I can't upgrade it because the lumberyard costs crystal shards and I don't have enough of those. I can upgrade the harvest totem so that as well as speeding up the farm plots within range, it also gets me more devotion.
Okay. I mean, it's more a thing now of just spending it because you can, because like, as with being over, you kind of have all the devotion you need.
Yeah. That's like I said, the late game things just get crazy. Here's one of the other things you can do with gold bars. You can add fuel to these things, and they make the people who work under them work faster, so that you can accumulate even more resources faster. And that's the propaganda speaker.
Excellent.
The propaganda being lamb bleeding, of course.
Nice and efficient as it should be.
Okay. It's been a while, I think, since either of you were present with me for this stuff, so I'll show you the places I've unlocked on Overworld. We have the Lonely Shack, the Pilgrim's Passage, and Midas's Cave, which I don't believe either of you have seen yet.
I don't think I would have, yeah.
Me neither.
So here's Midas's Cave. It's appropriately creepy.
Living up to the reputation.
Now, the reason that I only had 13 gold when I started there is that I had come and made an offering here, and so I get even more back than I offer, naturally, and I can put another 350 back in. You don't always get it back, but you usually do. And in case there weren't enough places to get devotion, you can buy devotion here for coins. Because of course you can. What else you can do with coins includes buy these decorations, and for gold bars you can buy these. The deal causes you to resurrect with a single heart when you die on Crusade. Ichor earned drops black ichor when you get hit. I don't think the black ichor is that great. Dead enemy bodies explode like bombs, damaging other enemies. I think they can also damage you. So I think the deal is the only one here which is really worth getting, but it's very powerful.
Yeah, those effects are always more trouble than they're worth, honestly.
Which ones?
The dead enemies explode.
Oh, okay, yeah. The card effects aren't always more trouble than they're worth. A lot of them are quite good. Including that one. If we were sacrificing our followers, we could also sacrifice a follower here. But I'm not going to. And the sacrificed followers become gold statues like those things. To add to Midas's collection. Here's Pilgrim's Passage. Full of pilgrims. I visited Midas's cave to look at his collection of statues. As I was walking through, I thought I heard one of them whispering. But that's impossible, right? They're just statues. Also, I only just noticed that these pilgrims have little fish icons on the side of their hoods. Now, we could buy hay decorations if we wanted to. I don't especially want to. Something else we can do is talk to the fishermen. And having found all the types of fish that he wanted us to find, we can now buy fish from him at 10 gold each. So let's buy some crabs and some squids. And some... Oh, no, that's it. Alright, fine. I'll show you fishing. It's a whole lot like Stardew Valley fishing.
Okay, yep.
And you get a couple fish per, usually. One if it's a rare one sometimes. Oh, hey. The lighthouse keeper is an adorable axolotl with a gibberish voice. The lighthouse is in disrepair. They need crystals. So there's a whole bunch of things we need crystals for. Also another source of devotion. We lit this fire for them. They were just praying for it to be light again. We actually filled it with wood. Worked a whole lot better.
Yeah. Tends to work better than prayer, I find.
Yeah, but we're in very religious lands and taking full advantage of that. It won their devotion, so it worked out for us. Everybody's waving here, folks are hanging around. When the shrine is full, it will not collect any more devotion, and they won't sit around and pray at it because that accomplishes nothing. So at that point they can actually hold impromptu dance parties if there's not enough work for everybody to do. Then they'll just do this. They do tend to gather together when they do that, which is kind of convenient for me to be able to bless multiple people at once and save my time. Also, more planks, more gold, more fish. Oh, fish. Somebody dropped us some fish. Okay. And Astarte has reached old age. One of the things you may notice is that our follower list is ordered approximately by age. Some of our... Oh, it is. But it's not fully by age. Like, Astarte is actually a little bit older than Applejack, but Applejack joined us earlier at a younger age than when Astarte joined us. So the characters towards the bottom of the list here are younger and have the most years that they can continue working for us.
Okay.
I would like to invest in Brewer, I think, because Brewer is still quite young. And I just got a level up from them, so I know there's plenty of room to fill that bar. That's how much of a bar full we can get from Confession. Just FYI.
Pretty easy.
Yep. I do need to make sure to keep my characters fed. I could feed them poison if I wanted to. A deadly dish which has a 75% chance of killing them instantly. But I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Much too low.
Well, if I really wanted to dispose of some of my followers, or, like, make sure that they died while I was here to bury them, like, for instance, the Elders, I could do that, and it might be strategically sound. Still cruel, though. Okay, Avernum wants to get my attention. What's up, Avernum? No, that's not Avernum, that's Azrael. Who wants to eat poop.
Yeah, I do remember this from the time I spent watching this. There's a lot of eating poop going on.
They're frequent eaters, yes. Let's get everybody's attention here. Attica has died. I can wrap them up, and then they won't be a health hazard in the same way. Would you guys stop throwing up, please? You're in my way. There we go. Thank Thank you. Okay. Now, Attica... What we got? Oh, right. I forgot this. I actually forgot to dig any more body pits. Let's fix that. I was making a habit of digging some body pits around here, so that I could just, like, bury them first and then move them to the right place in the graveyard afterward, because that makes sense.
You think after throwing up near the body, they'd stop going near it?
Well, everyone wants to see what's going on, you know. So, Attica is just after S. Astarte isn't dead yet, so Artemis space Attica is how we want this to go. And see, if I edit buildings, I can move this filled grave and just put it over there.
Oh, okay, that's convenient.
Yep. You can rearrange your base at will, so you don't have to plan too carefully. You can always change things later. It does take a little bit of effort, though.
I imagine if there's multiple things that in the way of other things, then it gets a bit.
You usually can't put things on top of each other.
Usually.
Well, I say that because we had that weird torch thing going on.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be able to do that. It's got an extra 39 golds. Hi, BitTorrent. Thank you for your devotion. Oh. Thank you, Ava. So this is how fast this fills up when people are actively praying. Each time one of their little red circles fills up, they will add their level in devotion to the thing. Okay. I didn't actually cook a bowl of poop for Azrael yet, so let's get on that. Berries are also decent. The only downside that they have is that the followers might poop immediately after eating them, and then somebody has to clean it up. But at this point, I'm not even the only person who can clean it up. The janitor station allows folks like Butter to do that for me. So, it's really not a problem. So this is the base management side of things. And now that I've collected some more gold from the collection plate, I can also upgrade these beds into tents. And the critters who were sleeping there are like, well, there's food. Why not have a midnight snack? And then tuck down into a different shelter because there's more than enough for everybody. Very nice. Okay, I could also refine a bunch of stone. And with the gold ore, I can refine ore into coins. And this is a grand shelter which never breaks, so I don't have to repair it, and also collects devotion while somebody's sleeping there. Because there's a billion ways to get devotion in this game. The adventuring side of things, for us, mostly happens up here. And we can go crusading in one of these four lands. Darkwood, where we've already fully defeated Leshy, the bishop that reigns over Darkwood, which is why this emblem over the door looks shattered like that. Anura, in which we haven't yet set foot, although it would normally be the second place. Silk Cradle, which is usually the last one. And way on the other side there is Anchor Deep. And the single pie slice out of the 4 quadrants around that indicates that we have defeated one of 3 mini bosses who show up before you get to beat the bishop. This is Rakshasa. He sells seeds for our garden. He's a rainbow shroom. Here, godly blood was spilled. Here did death no longer wish to wait. And up here, you can see 1 chain severed, and 3 more not.
Okay.
Now let's go back and fix up Azrael, who has gotten sick after eating the poop that they wanted to eat. Collect the offerings that have been left for us, and the devotion. Okay. Azrael, get over here. Why is there a necklace sitting there? I'm confused. Alright. You can see Azrael being rather unimpressed with whatever the fuck the, Babarl was saying. Oh. Sometimes they do get exasperated with one another. Truly, you are without flaw, feeding me poop. I'm not sure I'd agree with that. And every time that happens, you need to talk to them again in order to collect the devotion, and that is what levels them up. Just in case that wasn't clear. The characters can only be blessed once a day, and they typically die somewhere in their late 40s to 50s. Azrael here is 43, he's getting on in years, and he is the eldest. No, he's not. He's one of the older non-elders that we have. A Wu, however, is wearing a special necklace that extends their lifespan, so a Wu is likely to live into their 80s.
Okay.
I'm going to take a confession from Azrael right now, though. Azrael is very happy, but getting into arguments with people. That's how I interpret that, anyway. I can relate. Receive devotion from the Grand Shelter. In a slightly glitchy way. I want to find a Wu. Where's a Wu? There's a Wu, I think. A Wu. Thank you. It's difficult to select the farmers because there's so many. Like, each of the farm plots is a different thing to click on.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, yes, and you also get divine inspiration when leveling them up. So there's a lot to maintain here. It's kind of like Stardew Valley. It's easy to get stuck in a loop just doing the base stuff.
My main point of comparison is Factorio, where you actually want to avoid becoming part of the loop at all costs.
But that's not to say that it can't be tempting sometimes?
Oh yeah, it can be very tempting.
Alright, so I am wanting to get out and do some adventuring in Anchor Deep, which is how we get crystals. Also, this prison, we can throw somebody in prison, but it's not good to do so unless they're actually dissenting. When people start actually preaching about their doubts, rather than only confessing them, they go in here. Have I already done a sermon today? No, I have not. Okay. So at some point soon, I'm going to want to break out of this loop and go crusading. And probably put a video break before then. I will put to you guys whether you would like me to intentionally kill my elders before we head out.
So we get to decide who lives and who dies?
Well, we could feed them poison, and they're very unlikely to survive that.
That's true.
How old are they?
Well, old enough that they're not working anymore. That's kind of what defines elders. I can check in more detail in a moment, but I'm going to cook some proper food first. Here we're just casually discussing euthanasia, as you do when you get into the cult politics. Astarte is 57, Agold is 51, Applejack is 55, and Ava is 44.
I think it probably would be a good idea to euthanize Applejack and Astarte then, yeah.
Are you sure you want to condone that?
Well, I mean, the alternative is that being so close to 60 years old and followers do seem to die between around 60 and 65 at least. So the alternative is that they die while you're crusading and a bunch of other healthy followers get sick.
That can happen, yes. Okay, so I hadn't done this before, but apparently we're going to actually poison some of our people. Astarte? Please eat the deadly dish. Oh, this isn't good.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Wow. Okay.
That actually kind of worked out. Okay.
Bitta did not die. Bitta ate the deadly dish and didn't die. You're kind of playing a risky game there, Bitta.
Well, what if it tastes real good?
Maybe it does. I was
Only
hoping.
one way to find out.
I was hoping they wouldn't do that, but all right. We have now buried Astarte, rather than having them die while we're out, which is exactly what we were hoping to do.
Yeah, just as planned.
No. I'm not gonna take credit for that. I am not gonna take credit for that. I'm going to be more honest than the cult I am pretending to be and not take credit for that. Also remove the dirt flooring marking the grave sites because the graves are there now. Okay. That was very lucky. And now Ava's dead. Of old age. At the age of, I think it was 44.
Now, that's pretty young.
Yeah. If we were not playing this this graveyard particular run, we could, instead of burying the bodies, would you stop getting in my way? I'm trying to clean up. Instead of burying the bodies, we could butcher them for meat. But obviously that would mean we're not burying the bodies. And unless your cult is openly a cult of carnivores, they also would get upset at you if they caught you doing it. Okay. Azrael would like me to cook them some splendid vegetable feasts. I'm okay with that. Sure. Yeah, you want fancy food? That's fine. I have enough for 3. I do need to not fuck up the cooking, though. There we go. Now, splendid feasts, the really fancy dishes, will also sometimes level up our characters' loyalty when they eat them, because they're just that delicious. Like the magnificent mixed meal, every time. It's good enough to make a follower stop dissenting. It's good enough to increase their loyalty, like that. Now here are some other things that our followers can do. Followers can go out on missions to bring back something that we ask them to bring back, including another follower, or a bunch of meat, or coins, or lumber, or stone, or pumpkin seeds. Do any of these followers get me a different kind of seed than pumpkin seed? No. Not sure why, but okay. Maybe that's what's in season. And if we get the pumpkin seeds, we can plant the pumpkin seeds. That's what they're for. The percentage is the chance of success. If they don't succeed, they come back and they die.
Right.
Like, they stumble wounded back into the camp and arrive just in time to die. Which is acceptable for our conduct, because we can still bury them if they go out on mission and come back wounded and they die. So one of the things we can do is send some of the older members of the cult who are not elderly yet, like for instance Azrael, out to get another follower who will be younger than them. And they'll probably make it, and if they don't, then they'll die a little early. Also, somewhere here, where's Axtel? Axtel had been showing a remarkable amount of success with the missions, even from a low level. I do like to send a couple of my followers out on missions before I go crusading.
Yeah, fair.
What, if anything, should I send them looking for?
Well, as you were saying, constant breath of followers seems to be, like, it seems to be the only thing that could go wrong at this stage, right?
Kind of. Now, Stel has seen what happens if you actually run out of followers. And you can lose the game from not having enough followers. It will actually end your save, but you get a substantial amount of time to go and find another follower before that happens. So as long as you have even one follower, you're fine. Although, obviously, you won't have as much working manpower going on at your base.
Yeah.
So I could send, for instance, Avernum and Azrael out to find more followers, and Avernum will be faster at it, but I'm likely to be gone for a couple of days anyway. Shall I do that?
Seems good.
Okay. Avernum, go find us a follower, and then they strap on a backpack, they wave to me, and they head out. It's rather cute. Azrael, you too. Now we're gonna head up to that pentacle, which is the warp by which I can go to other places. And go. And wave again, and pop! Okay. Ava is dead, so I should, and buried, so I should move their grave. That one goes, I believe, here. The other cool thing, which actually helps us out with the crusading itself. Oh, I probably should have collected my reward from Azrael before I sent them away. Oh well. Is we can summon demons, and this also uses their followers. Each of the followers has an affinity for a certain demon. And if we use them for demonic summoning, they will be possessed by that demon. Awu, for instance, has an affinity with Vesta. And so, when possessed by a demon, they turn into the Vesta form, with another cute little pop, which can fire projectiles at my enemies.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep. Pan gets me more starting hearts, and I have a lot of followers who are affinity with Pan. Vosigus collects dropped fervor, which basically gives me mana for my spells. Which means that it is magnetically attracted into me instead of my having to go and pick it up. And I do think that that's an easy to underestimate positive effect. Bitta turns into Orcus, who has a melee attack. And also Bitta is the badass who ate the poison and lived. So we might want to take them with us just for that reason. Baba turns into Fornax, an exploding demon, which comes back, I think, once every room, and does a massive amount of damage once within that room.
Adds up, I think Orcus is immune to poison.
Okay, are we going to continue to get the graphical glitch? Apparently not with the second one anyway. So, we can bring Fornax follower, or we can bring Bitch, who is a Hathor follower, and Hathor will collect us red hearts, but I don't like to depend on that. I think I want to bring a Vossigus follower, which means it's BitTorrent because they're the only one. Or I could bring Baba as a Fornax. Incidentally, if I tried to bring one that I already had, like Basalt here, I can't. I can only bring one of each demon.
Okay.
So, BitTorrent level 2 Vossigus, or Baba level 5 Fornax?
Let's go with Vossigus.
Okay. And this is all our various preparations. We spent 3 days at base, tidying things up, collecting resources, building. Now we have 2 followers who are away on missions. It's a bunch of plants growing. In the early game, you have to do everything yourself, but once you build things up enough, a whole bunch of things can basically be left, except for food. The followers can never prepare their own meals, unfortunately. So I could just go, rather than waiting around to spend all day blessing my people again. I do want to leave them a little bit more food. So I will. And whoever's hungriest in the morning can eat these. There we go. See, now it's almost dawn, and by dawn there'll be enough time to do another confession and give everybody a blessing again and give them a new sermon. It's very easy to get sucked in. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here, and in the next video we can hopefully actually do some fucking crusading.